In this lesson, we are going to see what are the preferences with Adobe Photoshop 2022. First, I'm going to open an image. Choose Open. Here. I'm going to open an image. Choose this one. The image was opened. After open this image. Now I come to this edit menu in Natick middle. I have lots of options. So you can able to see this. I'm going to choose the option differences. You can see at the end I have this option which just preferences in differences. You have all the Adobe Photoshop settings controls. You can utilize this effectively. If you want to use Adobe Photoshop. If I choose gender, I can access all those functions. If we want to access a particular function here, I can choose the particular option here. If you want to access the camera around, you can come to the end and you can click here. Using this, you can able to access the camera around. Now I'm going to choose this general option. You can see we have the shortcut which is Ctrl K. I click here. And you have all those options. We have with this Adobe Photoshop. In general, it shows you color picker at first. You can able to select what kind of color you want. Here it shows you Adobe. And it shows me no windows. If you want as a Windows kind of appearance, you can choose Windows. Otherwise you can keep out OB. Come to this horseshoe D color picker. Here also if you want, you can set up all those things. So here we have the general settings. Have done any changes here. If you want to reset all those values, you can come to this place. Reset preferences on grid. And you will get restarted. After this, I come to this place. The second option, which is interface. With the help of this interface tab, you can able to say it how you need. The user interface of this Adobe Photoshop. Here you can able to see we have 4 options. I have dark theme and I have gray theme. I have light grip theme, and I have weight. Based on your need, a vision interest, we can choose which one you would occur. By default you will have this dark gray. And here also you can choose a blue if you want. You can see those selected areas have a blue colored highlighted area. By default, you will have the default value, which is gray. If you want to differentiate, you can choose this blue. And you can able to see how we have the look here. After that, we have different values. For a screen mode with the standard and full screen mode, you can do all those stages here if you require. You can also see in this presentation area, we have the language and us caring. And we have UAA font size. You can choose all those things according to your needs. We have so many options here. All those options are essential based on your need. You can use whichever you want. Here I'm going to choose one thing which is performance. In performance, you can able to see the RAM usage. What assigned for this software. Now you can able to see the 70% of the data RAM you can access. For the process of this software, I can reduce it or increase it based on my need. Here again, able to see that it shows me the processor. And if I want to enable the processor that can enable this. If we wanted to disable this processor, they can disable this. Definitely you have to enable this processor. By default it will be an enabled. More generally can able to get the graphic acceleration. Here we have the history and cache options. Here, one important option, which is history, states when you are doing undo or redo or Adobe Photoshop. Here we can set how many steps you need. Here it has number 50. By default, you can change it according to your need. You can use the slider bar. That same way you can do all those changes in this performance. Then I come to this scratch disk. If you want to use the internal hard disk storage for a file processing, we can enable those drivers what you are going to use. This is scratched is one of the important option that we have with Adobe Photoshop. If you are going to process large amount of file size, if you are going to process a video or 3D elements, you can enable this option, which is very much important for you. After the scratches we have cursors. You can able to set the cursors the moment The appearance, the precise appearance like this. We have transparency gamut, have units. What we're using here. Guides, grids and slices. By default, we have all those colors. If you want, you can change it. But I suggest you to have the same color because when you are having some lessons for them online or a book, they will use the default colors only. It's better, you should use the default colors. And you have plugins. If you have used any plugin, you may have the black in details here. And we have type to have the text and other things. We have 3D, which is one of the important tab here. For Adobe Photoshop. Here it shows you how much amount of processing memory you have for Adobe Photoshop. This is a graphic card processor. Here it says the things to do interactive rendering process. You should have a high rate tracker. And 3D file loading details here. Finally, we have this technology produced. A lot of important things here we can use these interface settings. We should use these preferences. The performance differences. And how these particular important thing we just call it a scratch disk. After setting all those things, we're going to choose, OK. Now it will be better if you are using Photoshop after setting all those graphic processors and scratch disk values. This is how we can use this Photoshop preferences in Adobe Photoshop. We also have one more important thing, which is keyboard shortcuts. Here you can able to see they have the option which is keyboard shortcuts. I click here. You can able to see the each and every manual keyboard shortcuts. Each and every new keyboard shortcuts. You can see that I will come to this place. You can able to customize each and every shortcut. For example, here I have Ctrl plus Yen. If we want to change the shortcut key, I can do that. I can select that and I can change whichever I wanted to do. Here it shows you a guaranteeing the shortcut key. They're trying to change it here. Yeah, that's not possible. But for possible areas we will have different icons can change. And here you add shortcut. If you want to add some new shortcuts, we can add with the help of this option, which is add shortcut. If you want to delete, you can use assumption, which is delete shortcut juice. You all those default denote shortcut keys. When you are going to use a particular function, frequently, you can set your own shortcut if that doesn't allow any shortcut key. That is the advantage of this keyboard shortcut and menus using Adobe Photoshop. In this way, you can able to set preferences and shortcut keys in Adobe Photoshop 2022.